So in this demo, I'm going to walk you through setting up your file in InDesign for the lyric booklet. So if you haven't yet watched my demo on making the little lyric booklet dummy, then watch that one first because you need the dummy to be able to set up this InDesign file. What we're going to do is set up our InDesign file, create new. Our file size is going to be 9.5 inches wide. So 9.5 inches wide by 4.75 inches high. So when we fold this in half, it becomes 4.75 by 4.75. So this fits a square jewel case. We are not going to have facing pages. We are going to have a total of 4 pages. We're going to leave columns alone. Our margins, we want 1/4 inch, and our bleed, we also want 1/4 inch all the way around. So 9.5 inches wide, 4.75 high, 4 pages total, margins set at 1/4 inch, bleed set at 1/4 inch. I'm going to go ahead and say create. And if we look at our pages, this is what we have. I'm going to double click on my master page here. So now anything I do, I'm doing to the master page. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a guide halfway so I know where the fold mark is. So halfway would be 4.75. Then I'm going to set another guide 1/4 inch to the left and to the right. So that one's at 4.5. And the other way you could do that is just click, hold, and drag. And then up here, you can actually just type in 5 inches and it'll move it for you. I personally like them to go, either they all need to be outside or I need to click, hold, and drag inside so that it doesn't have the guide beyond those areas. So I like them all to be equal. Either they have to be outside or they all have to be inside. So I have mine set all to the outside. So just to kind of review, my left guide is 4.5 inches. My center guide is 4.75 and my right guide is 5 inches. So when I click down here below on these pages, you can see that they all have it. And you also can't grab them and accidentally move them. So this gives us our area of fold right in the center. Our text area is between that margin and this margin for this page. So if I just take that box and fill it in, you could kind of see this is where my margin, any of my text will be here for that page, and it'll be here for this page. So it gives me 1/4 inch margin all the way around. So remember, that's for text, not for imagery. Okay, so let me go ahead and delete that. So if I go back to my pages, I'm going to double click on page 1. So this here that I'm looking at is page 1. I'll zoom out just a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the little booklet dummy that I made in the last little video, and I'm going to mimic what I wrote on that little dummy outside of my printed area and outside of my margin. So on this right side, this is the front cover, and it's page 1. And then I can duplicate this over here. And of course, this is going to be my back cover, and it's page 8. I am then going to select both of those. I just click, held, and drag so that it kind of captured both, but I can also click one, hold shift, and select the other one. I'm on a Mac, Control C or edit copy. I'm going to come down to page 2, so I can double click on page 2. And then edit, paste in place, or Command Option Shift V If I Command Option Shift V, then it just goes ahead and pastes that in place. And this is going to be what's on page 2. So you're just going to flip that first signature over. And on page 2, what we see is on this left-hand side is page 2, and on this right-hand side is page 7. And this is the inside back cover, and this is the inside front cover. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and copy these, come down to page 3, and I can just click on this page and it moves me down to page 3. I'm going to paste in place, and I'm just going to delete what's on that top page. Now I'm going to go bring up my my second signature, the one that has the big 3 in the middle. And this one is going to say 6. This is my page 6 on this side. And this one here is page 3. I'm going to copy those again. Just click on the center of that page. Command Option Shift V, so paste in place. I'm going to flip that second signature over, so now in the middle it says 4. And this one is going to be page 4 on the left, and this one on the right is going to be page 5. The other thing that we talked about was placing, kind of mapping out where all of your song lyrics are going to go. So I wouldn't have any song lyrics on the front and the back. And when you think about a CD, it's usually wrapped in like some kind of shrink wrap. You can't open it, so you can't really see the back of the CD cover anyway. So even the back of the CD cover doesn't have to have the names of the songs. You don't want your lyrics showing on the back. That's just not going to look like a clean book. But you can put other information there, and you can look on your CD to get some ideas. You can do like other CDs by them. You can have the copyright information. You can have a scan bar. You can have their website and all of their recording information. You can have a list of names of the songs if you want to, but it's not necessary. Okay, so then I'm going to go to page 2, and on this page 2, I'm looking at my dummy here, and I can see that on the inside I didn't map anything out there because that's my inside front cover, and I don't want my lyrics there. But here, this says that it's song number 5. So I'm going to go ahead and type that in there. So this just kind of helps me to organize, and I know what it is that I'm putting where. So then if I go look at, and I'm copying this here, and if I look at now page 3, and I'm referencing my little dummy book again, I can see that this right-hand page has song number 1, and this left-hand page, I've called out song number 4. And then I'm going to flip my little dummy thing over again. I'm going to copy those two. Come down to this last page, paste in place, Command Option Shift V, or Edit, paste in place. This left-hand side is song number 2, and my right-hand page is song number 3. So that just helps me to be able to map out what song is going to go where. Now, typically, I would tell you you want to have your text boxes linked, and I'll show you what that looks like. And if your songs are carrying from one page to the next, so the way that I've set this up, I have one song on each page. So that's going to look a little bit different. So let me go open a file here that I have with some lyrics on it, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So, I know I have some lyrics in here. Let's see. Book jacket. no, not demo files, book jacket. Where are my lyrics? Okay, let me see if I thought I just opened this. So let me go to file. Oh, do I not have it open recent? Apparently not. Okay. I'm in the right place. Okay, demo file should be here. I'm not sure why I'm not finding it. These are my mockups. Of course, it always works this way. Okay, let me just do a quick find for lyrics and just see what I can find. Well, how about we just do this? We'll just do what you're going to have to do. And that is, we're going to have to go to the internet and we're going to be looking up lyrics. So let's do a Coldplay CD. Or here, I'll just grab one of these that I have. Fleetwood Mac Greatest Hits. So Fleetwood Mac Greatest Hits CD lyrics. Okay, so you should be able to find the lyrics for each of the all of the songs online. So if I'm, let's see, Fleetwood Mac. So these are different CDs. So if I wanted to do a specific one, I have to make sure I have the right one. I don't know if they have. Let's see if they have this. I was looking for the greatest hits, but I'm not seeing it. Okay, well, make sure you find the one that you're intending to do. So we'll just say, here's merry-go-round. So here are the song lyrics. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab those, copy them. I'm going to go back to my booklet and I'm going to look for where I had song number 1. So if this were my song number 1, then I'm going to go ahead and paste it in here. And I can select all and determine whatever, I wouldn't want to leave this as Minion Pro. So really make sure that you pick a typeface that gives a feeling of some of those words that you may have written down on your brainstorm. So what does this music feel like? And make sure that that's really what you're getting across with your typeface. I don't have to leave this as one large column either. I can absolutely change this to 2 columns if I want to. My text right now is 10 points. I probably want to be between 10, maybe 9 and 12. If you're going to have some kind of color in the background, don't make it black with white text or really dark color with white text. That's really hard to read, and the whole idea for lyrics is that we can read them. I also have seen a lot of lyric booklets where the type is like 6, 7 point type. Please don't do that. It's super irritating. You don't want to do that. So these are pretty short songs, at least this one is. So this gives me a lot of room here for some kind of imagery. And of course, I have a title that has quotes, which I'm going to take the quotes out. I would want to make this larger. I would also want to make myself some kind of a style. So whatever I decide this is going to be, like if this is my typeface, let's say that I make it, I don't know what color I would make it because I have no design in here yet, but when you get to that formatting part, you want to make sure that you come in and do a new style and that you call this your titles. So you say okay, and then don't forget to hit titles at the end. So now all my titles will have um, that same style. Same with your text, new paragraph style, and I'm going to call this lyrics. So okay, with it still highlighted, I'm going to go ahead and select lyrics. So let's go get another song. So this is song 1. Now I'm going to go to song 2. And because they're kind of short, I don't need to continue this one onto this page, meaning I don't need to link the text boxes. So I can link a text box here, and I'll show you that example if you're going to be, if that applies to how you're going to be laying yours out. So let's go back and let's go to this next song. Also a pretty short song, so I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go to page 2. Draw a text box. I always start margin to margin. Doesn't mean I need to end that way. I'm going to paste it. I'm going to go ahead and select all of that. Click on lyrics. It changes it to how I have my other lyrics set. And then I'm going to click the title and change that to be title. And it's not that all your titles have to have the same color. It's probably a good idea to change to keep some consistency throughout because you're looking for continuity of color and typefaces and things like that. So it's probably a good idea to try and keep some of them, some things constant. But this one, I could actually move it to this side if I wanted to, and then my artwork could be here. But I don't have to do that. And usually I'll just paste in all of my lyrics first, and then I'll kind of decide how much, let me see how much room I have for design. And then I'll go back and start making some of those decisions. So I'm going to go ahead and go back here to the next song. And if you have a chorus, like if your song's a little longer than these and you're trying to cut some out, feel free to like write out the chorus the first time, but then the second time you can just type the word chorus. That's perfectly fine. So here we go. And remember, if I decide I want to change the blue color, that's not a big deal. I can actually just double click on the titles. Oops, I have that text box selected, so it just changed it. Double click titles, go to over on this left side. You can change any of these things that you want to. There's one that says color, so I could change it to whatever color I want. You can see it just changed all of them to that pink color. Okay, so there's song number 3. My song 4 is up here. So I'm going to go back and go to the next one. And you can pick any 5 songs that you're putting in here. So if this one's too long, I can just pick a different one. That's perfectly fine. But I think there's plenty of room, so I'm going to go ahead and paste this one in here. And of course, it picked up the style from my title. So the title, take out those quotes. And if I wanted to, like this one's a little longer, maybe I want design to be at the bottom, so I could make this a 2-column, object, text frame options, change it to a 2-column, say okay, and scoot this up, and then it makes it a 2-column. So could do that too. Just another option. And then here's song 5 on the inside back cover. So let's go ahead and go back. I'm going in order, so I might as well just keep this. Looking for somebody. Okay, so copy. And if I go back, this is on page 7. So if I go back to page 6, I'm kind of looking at how long these songs are. So like song 3, this is super short. So I have the option, I don't have to put this song on the inside back cover. Like let's say I wanted to leave this more for artwork. What I could do is, this is a pretty short song, and they don't have to be in a specific order. So I may take this song, and I would just take this with it because that's song 5. And maybe I come back here to this page here, and I paste it in place and then move it over. Move this over. So this is my song number 5 over here, and this is my song 3. So I could do something where this page just has 2 short songs, and I could move this one down here. So maybe, it just gives them a little separation. And then what that did is it gave me the inside back cover on page 7 to be blank, so for some design. And if you look at page 6, this is page 6, so it's on the opposite side. So this is page 6 here when we're reading it. So this page has the little longer song, so even if I pulled it down here, then it basically gives me all of this area for design and all of this area next to it, because that's page 6 and page 7 next to each other. So with these short songs, that's what I would probably do. And I could also move this, up here and just have the 2 songs, and then look at all this room down here that kind of gave me for some artwork. So just a few things that you need to think about. And I think that's pretty much it for getting your file set up. Where you want to start on the artwork then is your cover. So that cover is really that's going to sell the CD. So that's what everybody sees. So you want to make sure that it's eye-catching. You want to make sure that you have not only the name of the group or your artist, but also the name of the CD. Those are the 2 main things. And that you're taking inspiration from the music on this CD. So listening to the CD, writing down that word list of things that you think about when you listen to the music, and really coming up with something, that just helps fill the emotion. Also, when you're looking at the front and the back cover, think about these as one. So if I had some kind of a colored background, make sure that you're going to your margins here. So if I had a colored background here, again, it would not just come to the end of the artboard, it would come all the way here. I would actually think about this as a whole. So I would not want to just cut it off here because it's kind of annoying. I think it's a lot better to think of this as a whole. And even if you did something, it doesn't have to be like a rectangle, but some kind of organic shape. Like if you had some water kind of coming across here, like an ocean view, and somebody's playing their guitar or something, make it come all the way across and come on to that back page. It feels a lot more complete. And then it gives you some elements for continuity inside. The inside is about the lyrics. Obviously, these songs are really short, so I have a lot of room. So I maybe would want to think about, what is this Shake Your Moneymaker song about? And, what is some visuals that maybe could go with that, and add that in here. It still needs to relate to what I have on my cover. And you might want to find some of these elements to kind of pull through the inside as well. So that's it on setting up your file.